Hello everybody, my name is Michelle.
And I'm Kate, and today we're going to be discussing
the humiliation and discrimination against children with special needs.
So, everyone, what does it mean to have special needs?
By definition, having special needs means either having a learning or physical disability.
These kids often require a special education system found in mainly public schools.
For example, at our school, we have a class dedicated to those with special needs. They have multiple teachers and aides that help and guide them throughout the day.
Not only do we have a class dedicated to children with special needs, but also we have a club called Best Buddies Club.
Best Buddies is a club that allows student volunteers to pair up with someone with a disability.
So, what do the Best Buddies volunteers do, Michelle?
Well, Kate, the student volunteers act as a friend and mentor. They help them develop social skills and work on becoming more independent.
This club allows students to become more creative and to be more involved in society. Most importantly, this club allows them to be themselves and to not worry about being judged.
Speaking of being judged, did you know that 1 in every 4 kids with special needs is harassed?
Or how about that 90% of children with special needs do not attend school because they're afraid of being bullied?
That's a shocking amount of kids that are discriminated against, but that doesn't surprise us.
Through research and personal experiences, Michelle and I have witnessed the discrimination against these individuals.
For example, I was at the mall when I saw a little girl with Down syndrome being picked on. Her mother quickly stepped in and defended the little girl, who by this point was in tears.
As for me, I can clearly remember when I was in middle school and I was walking when I suddenly overheard a group of kids calling another student derogatory names.
So, with both of us personally seeing a child get discriminated against, we wanted to get a better understanding of what these children endure on a daily basis.
We visited a school that had a class specifically for kids aged 3 to 4 that had a type of learning disability.
We had one-on-one time with specific students. I met a little girl who throws a tantrum when things don't go her way.
I personally interacted with a little boy who is known for fighting, but when I got the chance to talk to him, he was extremely sweet and kind.
Most of these kids have a breakdown when someone or something acts upon one of their triggers. A trigger is a word or sound that initiates a course of action.
To simplify, triggers can cause a child to go into survival mode. This means that when a child hears or sees a certain object, they instantly believe they are in some type of danger.
One thing we personally noticed was the terms used in the classroom. The teachers and aides addressed the students as "my friend." I asked Ms. P why they called them that, and this was her response.
She explained that addressing the students as "my friend" helps them feel better connected to the teacher and aides.
Another thing we witnessed was that instead of teachers yelling at the students when making a mistake, they simply stated, "I don't agree with the choices that you are making. Make better choices."
So, this allows the students to acknowledge that they are in trouble without scaring them. It also alerts their brain that they need to change behavior methods.
Not everyone has the opportunity to witness how these children learn and behave.
So, we took it upon ourselves to gain a better understanding about this topic.
These children are the few lucky ones that are able to attend a public school. According to Children with Special Needs Discriminated Against Until Now by Mike Nichols, 2,327 students with special needs applied to their school district and were denied entry.
Looking further into the future, these children grow up and lack the self-confidence they need to become independent.
This all starts when the children are discriminated against because they are unique.
According to Article 1, 7, 23, and 26 of the UN Declaration of Human Rights, they should not be treated any less just because they think and behave in a different way.
Article 1 states that all human beings are born free and equal.
Article 7 states all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection.
Article 23 states that everyone, without any discrimination, has the right to equal pay for equal work.
Article 26 states everyone has a right to education.
As you can see, these laws are created but aren't effective. Here are some other laws that have been approved to help end the discrimination against children with special needs.
In 1965, Congress added a Bureau of Education for the Handicapped. Technically, this is not a law passed, but this signified that changes were going to be made.
In 1972, two Supreme Court cases argued the right for students with disabilities to have an equal access to education. Although there wasn't a law that mandated this stance, some students began going to school as a result of the court decisions.
In 1973, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act is enacted. This was the first national law that protected individuals from discrimination based on their disability.
In 1975, the Education for All Handicapped Children's Act is passed. This was a law passed that mandated that all school districts were to educate students with disabilities.
In 1986, the Education for All Children Handicapped Act makes the addition of the Handicapped Children's Protection Act. This new addition makes it clear that students and parents have rights.
In 1990, the Americans with Disabilities Act is passed. More and more students are being placed in public school districts.
Also, in 1990, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act is now renamed as the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. One of the biggest additions to this law was transition services for students. School districts were now required to assist students with disabilities in transferring from high school life to adult life.
In 1997, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act is reassessed. Students with disabilities were to be included on state and district-wide assessments.
As you can see, these changes definitely have been made to protect these children.
These laws have all been passed, but now all we have to do is enforce them. Just because the children learn and think in a different way, it doesn't mean that they are any less capable.
Imagine if you were a child that comprehended things in a different manner. Say you were in a math class, just learning about probability.
The teacher has instructed the class on one way to solve the problem.
The whole class is solving that problem that one specific way.
You, the child with special needs, has found a completely different way to solve the problem. When others are aware of how you have solved this, instead of being open-minded and giving your new solution a chance, they shut you down and bash your ideas.
Wouldn't you feel ashamed? Wouldn't this make you start doubting yourself? Wouldn't this make you feel humiliated? And wouldn't this make you question your worth?
Sadly, situations like this happen on a daily basis to children everywhere.
These children face discrimination in several different ways. One of these ways is being verbally attacked.
This includes others shutting out your ideas, calling you derogatory names, and just being plain rude.
Another way is being physically attacked. This form of discrimination is extremely brutal because in most cases, children can't defend themselves.
People with disabilities are twice as more likely to be physically abused. Females undergo this form of abuse more than men.
All forms of discrimination are equally wrong, and we need to stop being a bystander.
All this information has persuaded us to take a stand for children with special needs.
To wrap things up, we chose this topic because it is something we see all in our daily lives.
Standing up for these children means a lot to us because Kate, Hannah, and I all personally know someone with a disability.
Here's some things you can all do to take a stand for these kids.
A simple solution is that if you see someone being harassed, just stand up for them.
It's not difficult to protect them. You can stop it in 5 words or less.
Another solution is to get an adult if the situation gets out of hand.
This allows the attacker to take responsibilities for their own actions. Bringing an adult into the picture ensures that the attacker will get a suitable punishment.
Throughout history, the most common forms of discrimination we hear are against African Americans, the LGBT community, and immigrants. You rarely hear about the discrimination against the disabled.
We aren't saying that this form of discrimination is more important than others, but we want to bring light and justice to this subject.
So, this is why we chose this topic.
We hope you enjoyed our TED Talk.
And keep watching for more information on our topic.
Thank you!
Thank you!